It began as a moment of joy, a mother's first cry and a family's first miracle. In a quiet suburban home, a beloved German shepherd named Luna lay trembling on the carpet. Her breathing was heavy, her eyes wide with both pain and pride. Around her, the air was thick with anticipation and love. Her owner knelt beside her, whispering softly, "You're doing great, girl." Hours passed, and tiny cries finally filled the room. One by one, 6 small shapes emerged, fragile, warm, alive. Luna licked each one gently, her instincts guiding her every move. The family clapped, tears glistening. "She did it," they said. But something wasn't right. One of the puppies didn't move. Another made a sound that didn't seem canine. The vet called immediately, rushed in with a worried face. He examined the litter, his brow furrowing deeper with each check. The family exchanged nervous glances. "What's wrong?" the mother asked. The vet hesitated, his voice low. "I've never seen anything like this," Luna whimpered softly, curling protectively around her babies. The doctor lifted one of them and gasped. The tiny creature blinked. But not like a dog. Something strange was happening inside that home, and within hours, the world would know. Luna hadn't just given birth. She had changed nature itself. The family expected yips and tiny whimpers that night. Instead, they heard something else, something soft and unfamiliar. Luna's head lifted, her ears twitching toward the sound. It wasn't barking. It wasn't even close. It was humming. A low, rhythmic hum, like a lullaby from another world. The father turned on the lamp, his hands trembling. The smallest newborn was glowing faintly under the light. Its fur shimmered with silver streaks. The mother gasped. "Is that normal?" The vet shook his head, speechless. Luna didn't panic. She nuzzled the glowing pup lovingly. The other pups squirmed closer. Comforted by her calm, the hum grew louder, echoing through the quiet house. It was soothing, not scary, almost intelligent. The vet whispered, "These aren't ordinary puppies." The family stared at him, not understanding. He leaned closer to Luna. "Something's inside them." "Something we can't explain." Luna's eyes met his, unprotective, fierce, as if warning him to stay away from her children. The air turned cold, filled with mystery. Outside, the wind began to howl. The lights flickered for a second, and somewhere deep inside that warm living room, nature had rewritten one of its oldest rules. By morning, Luna was resting, but the vet couldn't sleep. He stayed by her side, studying every heartbeat, every sound. He had delivered hundreds of puppies before, but never like these. He ran gentle scans, frowning at the monitor. Inside the tiny creatures, something pulsed. Bright, rhythmic, almost electric. Their DNA readings didn't match a dog's completely. "Half canine," he murmured. "Half something else." The family looked terrified. "Something else?" "What do you mean?" He didn't answer right away. He just kept staring at the monitor, eyes wide. "These pups have traits I've only seen in one place. Genetic experiments." The father's voice cracked. "You mean someone did this to her?" The vet nodded slowly. "Or to her mother long before." Luna stirred, as if understanding their words. She moved closer to her strange litter, curling around them tighter. The smallest one opened its eyes for the first time. They weren't brown or blue, they glowed faint green. Everyone froze. The vet reached out slowly, hand trembling. The pup looked directly at him, and the hum began again. Machines flickered, the lights dimmed, and the vet stepped back in awe. "This isn't evolution," he whispered. "This is intervention." Later that day, as the vet prepared to leave, something caught his eye. Luna's old collar. Scratched, rusted, almost forgotten. He picked it up and turned it over. There, engraved faintly, were letters he didn't recognize. Not English. Not any language he knew. It looked like a code, symbols burned into metal. He rubbed the surface, revealing another mark. Project Lyra. The vet's stomach dropped. He'd heard of that name before. It was whispered years ago in a government lab he once interned at. A top-secret experiment on animal intelligence and empathy. The program had been shut down, supposedly. He stared at Luna, now licking her hybrid newborns. Was she part of that experiment? Did she escape from it years ago? He pulled out his phone, dialing an old contact. The line clicked. A voice said, "You shouldn't be calling this number." The vet whispered, "They're alive." The Lyra offspring. "I found them." There was silence, then panic. On the other end, "Get out of that house now." But it was too late. A black van had already stopped outside, and Luna's ears had already heard it first. The family was preparing breakfast when Luna began growling. It wasn't a warning bark, or it was a deep, guttural sound of fear. The father looked out the window. Two men in suits approached the door. Expressionless, the vet whispered, "Don't open it." But the knock came anyway, firm. "Official chilling. Animal control," one voice said. "We need to check the mother and litter." The mother frowned. At night, no answer. Just another, harder knock. Luna barked sharply, stepping in front of her babies. The vet shook his head. "Those aren't animal control." The father grabbed his phone, ready to call the police. The power cut out. The entire house plunged into darkness. Screams filled the air. A flashlight beam swept across the room. "Take them!" a voice ordered. Luna lunged forward, teeth flashing in the dark. The men stumbled, one dropping a syringe. The smallest glowing pup began to hum again, louder this time. Every light bulb in the room exploded at once. When the power returned, the men were gone, and Luna was standing tall, protecting what was hers. The next morning, chaos lingered like fog. The living room was a mess. Broken glass, overturned chairs, fear everywhere. But Luna stood in the center, calm yet unbroken. Her fur glowed faintly under the morning light. The vet checked the pups. All safe, all breathing. He couldn't understand how they'd survived the attack. "They wanted to take them," he said, quietly. The father nodded. "But why?" The vet stared at the smallest one. "Because they're not just animals." He turned to Luna. "They're proof. Proof of something humanity wasn't ready to face." Luna licked his hand gently, as if to thank him. He smiled sadly. "You knew all along, didn't you?" Her eyes met his, wise, almost human. The world had called her a pet, but she was more than that now. She was a protector, a symbol of creation's hidden brilliance. The men in black would return, he knew it, but this time Luna wouldn't be alone. The vet promised the family, "We'll keep them safe, whatever it takes." And as the night fell once again, the tiny hybrids stirred, glowing softly beside their mother. And for the first time, humanity wasn't leading evolution, it was being watched by it. Days passed, but fear never left the family home. Every sound outside made Luna raise her head. Every car that passed made the vet tense up. He barely slept, guarding the strange newborns in silence. Then, one foggy evening, he saw it. The same black van. It idled at the edge of the street, lights off. No one moved inside, but Luna growled lowly. She remembered that sound, that engine. The father whispered, They've found us again. The vet gripped a flashlight. Trembling, this time they won't come quietly. A loudspeaker crackled. Step away from the animals, the voice was cold.
Official, commanding. The mother grabbed her children.
Tears in her eyes, but Luna didn't run. She stood tall, tail low, gaze burning through the darkness. The vet shouted,
You can't take them. They're living beings. No answer, only footsteps. The door slammed open, flashlights flooding the room. Contain the subjects, one man yelled. Luna lunged, teeth bared, fighting for her young. Her growls mixed with the cries of her litter. The vet shielded the smallest pup, heart pounding, and in the chaos.
One of the men screamed. A burst of light erupted from the
Newborns, blinding and alive, no one could
explain what happened next. The entire house filled with a
pulsing white glow. It wasn't fire, it was energy. The
air itself seemed to breathe. The intruders froze mid-motion, trapped like statues. The vet fell to his knees, shielding his eyes. Luna stood unmoving, staring into the heart of the light. Her pups were floating, weightless, peaceful. Their glowing intensified until it filled every shadow. The family huddled together, terrified yet mesmerized. It felt like time had stopped. Then a sound. Not from the pups, but from everywhere at once. A melody, a language beyond words. Soft and haunting, the vet's tears fell.
They're communicating.
The smallest pup turned toward Luna. Their eyes met. Mother and child, species beyond reason, and for the first time,
Luna didn't look confused. She looked proud. The light began to fade.
And the air grew still again. The men in black were gone, vanished like smoke. The clock ticked again,
marking the return of time. No one spoke. No one moved. They just stared at Luna, the dog who had just saved the world.
By dawn, helicopters circled above the neighborhood. The vet's phone rang off the hook, but he didn't answer. He already knew who it was, the same agency that had started Project Lyra. He walked to the window, watching the fog lift. 2 cars waited at the corner, pretending not to. The mother whispered, "What will they do now?" The vet sighed. "They'll erase it. Pretend it never happened." He turned toward Luna, who lay nursing her glowing pups. "They'll say it was a hoax."
A myth, a misunderstanding, but the truth was lying right in front of him, breathing. He took photos, files,
DNA samples, evidence of the impossible. Then he did the only thing he could think of. He destroyed it all. The father panicked. "Why would you do that?" The vet looked up, voice steady. "Because if they find proof, they'll take them away again." He turned to Luna. "She's their protector now." Outside, the helicopters vanished one by one. The silence that followed was almost holy. No news reports, no questions. It was as if the event had never happened, but the world had changed, even if it didn't know it yet. Months passed. The pups grew stronger, smarter, stranger. They learned faster than any normal dog should. At 2 weeks, they could understand commands. At 4, they could open doors. By 6, they could mimic sounds, even words. The family kept them hidden, safe, away from the world. The vet visited quietly, bringing food and care. Every visit he was more amazed. "Luna, what have you brought into this world?" he whispered once. She wagged her tail, proud and calm. Her children weren't monsters, they were miracles. They played gently with the kids, always protective. Their glowing eyes dimmed with time, replaced by warmth. But every night, the humming returned, a soft chorus under the stars. It wasn't eerie anymore. It was beautiful. The vet began to record their sounds. He realized something unbelievable. The hum wasn't random. It had structure. It was communication, patterns of empathy, emotion, love. The language of the heart, but perfected. And it all came from the womb of a dog who defied science, a mother who chose love over fear. Years later, the story became a whisper, a legend told in quiet towns and secret labs. They called her Luna, the mother of the impossible. No photos existed, no files remained, but those who saw her never forgot. The vet grew old, but he never stopped wondering. Were they still out there, those hybrid beings? Did they live among us, hidden, watching, protecting? Sometimes he swore he saw glowing eyes in the forest at night. Not threatening, just watching. The children grew up and told their friends about her. Some believed,
Most didn't, but every year, on the same date,
they'd hear it, that faint humming in the wind, like a lullaby echoing through time. The vet once said, maybe she wasn't an experiment at all. Maybe she was chosen to remind us what love can create. Because in the end, Luna didn't just give birth, she gave humanity a message. That life is bigger than species, science, or fear. That miracles aren't made, they're born, and that sometimes the heart of a mother holds the blueprint of the universe. Luna closed her eyes one final night, surrounded by her grown pups, and as the stars shimmered above,
it almost felt like the world was whispering back, "Thank you."
Luna, love is the greatest miracle life can create. Luna didn't give birth to monsters. She gave birth to hope. She proved that being different doesn't mean being wrong. Sometimes what the world fears is what it most needs to understand. Science could measure her heartbeats, but never her heart. Her story teaches that motherhood knows no limits. Not species, not rules, not reason. It's the purest form of faith. To protect what you love, no matter the cost. Luna's courage wasn't in her bite. It was in her love, and through her, the world learned a truth it had long forgotten, that miracles don't always fall from heaven. Sometimes they're born on the floor beside a loyal, trembling mother, and they change the world in silence. Silence.